Hey, what is good, people? This is episode 62. This is Sports Debate Tuesday, and the episode starts right now. Step onto a world where there's no one left but the very best. No MC contest. Yes, y'all. What's up? Hey, we gotta get the rights to that, man. We waiting for that, man. These people are stalling me. That's gonna be our new intro when we get our stuff completely together. Guys, episode 62. Guys, this is Sports Debate Tuesday, and along with Rob, Keep It, McLean. I am the one and only Jason DeBiss, and we have our trilogy of topics. We have to shame or not to shame, got quick question, whole bunch of stuff. A whole lot of UFC events are going on, right? I mean, are there too many? I mean, that's crazy, right? Schroeder gets thrown out, ejected along with Kyrie Irving. That's going to be our shame or not to shame. But first things first, Rob McLean. Over the weekend, the Nets played the Lakers in something that could have been symbolic of finals implications, right? Except a whole bunch of people are missing. Harden didn't play. LeBron didn't play. AD didn't play. No LeBron, no AD, no problem as the Lakers just breezed past these guys. It was competitive for a little bit until Kyrie kind of caught a little fit, got thrown out the game. Still put up like 18 points, I believe. I'm going to check the stats for a minute. I believe he put up 18 points in 21 minutes. So he looked like he was on his way to having a good game until that happened. And so we're going to have some spill off on this conversation. Segue to shame or not to shame. But the question, Rob, is who is more important to their team from now going into the playoffs or to whatever end? Is it James Harden for the Nets? Or is it LeBron James for the Lakers?
I was thinking about this a lot. And, to be honest, the regular season, once you make it into the playoffs consecutive years, the regular season really doesn't matter. So if we're talking about the regular season, or for seeding or going further in the playoffs, getting to that best team to beat, whether it's the finals or the conference finals in your own conference, usually that's LeBron. That's the guy. But what he doesn't usually have is that I'm going to close this game out. I'm going to close this series out type of potential. And that's what I still feel like the Lakers don't have. I do believe the Lakers will always beat a team in 7 games. That's just the way they're built. They're built to go the long haul, to beat a team and just to keep wearing them down. But when you talk about the Brooklyn Nets, and again, they've added so many pieces since the beginning of the season. It is kind of unfair. Because they're basically an all-star team on the floor. I mean, if you think LaMarcus Aldridge, Blake Griffin, KD, Harden, and Kyrie, at some point, they're going to be on the floor together. Like, that's just ridiculous. But, like, even before LaMarcus and Blake got on the team, Kyrie, and even before Harden got on the team, Kyrie and KD really didn't separate themselves as a duo to threaten, let's say, even the Bucks or the 76ers. But when they got Harden, the game changed. And even, people talk about now, when you look at the list, Kyrie Irving's the third best player on that team. Harden's number 2, KD's number 1. And what Harden does to a team may not show on the stat sheet all the time. Yeah, he gets his triple doubles, but he's still not scoring 30 points a game anymore. But what he does just like in transition to get easy buckets, to make other people start playing better and more cerebral, as in KD and Kyrie, I think he's a difference maker within the league. I think there's nobody better than him at the moment.
I think he's MVP right now?
I wouldn't say MVP. I just say, there's certain players that have such a degree of intangibles, like Draymond Green, like 3 or 4 years ago. You're not going to say he's the MVP of the league or even the MVP of the Golden State Warriors, but at the end of the day, he does so many things that their team wouldn't be anywhere without him. And James Harden doesn't even play the best defense. That's how impactful he is on the offensive side of the ball. So when you're talking about who's the bigger difference maker, who makes a bigger impact for their team, I think LeBron probably makes a bigger impact overall on the team. But when you're talking about that 1 or 2% at the best, when you're playing the best of the best, I think James Harden is that X factor that brings Brooklyn over the top. So I'm going to have to go with James on this one.
Well, before I give you my answer, you brought up something very, very interesting. Like a lot of the games, a lot of the quality wins, and these are like the blowout wins, are the games that James Harden doesn't put up big numbers. I think he's evolved in a sense where when you're on a team of all stars like that, right? Some guys are gonna have numbers nights. Maybe there's some incentives for putting up numbers by the end of the season, performance bonuses and whatnot. But at this point, I don't think monetary gain is his thing. I think it's getting a championship ring. I know he was really, really close. I remember he went to 7 games with the Golden State Warriors, and he just had an absolute trash game, that last one, a game that you never seen Harden play so poorly before, and you probably most likely never see again. But I got to push back on you in this one. I got to go LeBron James. I go LeBron James being more important to the Lakers because wherever that man goes, you're in the championship picture winning or you're in the championship picture losing. And the same has not been said for James Harden yet. I know I got that in the back of my mind, but to me, until you are, you aren't. So it's really, really tight. And I could see if everyone brings their ones, if everybody's not injured, I wouldn't be totally surprised to see Harden, Durant, Kyrie Irving, and every other long at the tooth all-star that they have actually beat the Lakers 4-2. I picked the Lakers to win that series, but if the Nets win, and that's tough for me because I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. I traded in my hat. In fact, it's over here somewhere. I can't reach it. So for me, I go as a common denominator that everything you said about Harden doesn't have to put up big numbers to win. Can be a walking triple-double if the other team lets him. Can put up huge numbers and still lose by a lot. Can put up dismal numbers, and just pass off the ball because I think LeBron right now is the best passer, one of the top 3 best passers in the history of the game. I think of Magic Johnson. I think of Larry Bird, and I shove LeBron into that category because man, he's so good. It's so good at just looking up the field, throwing touchdown passes, just throwing no looks, throwing looks, throwing bullets. But when it comes to being the most important thing in the team, meaning that they're not even in the championship picture without them, I got to go with the king. I got to go with LeBron James. And I think he lost his MVP, shot. Now he's out. I think he's out 3 more weeks. I think Anthony Davis is out 14 more days. So Harden, I don't know. He's
out
Lillard?
too for the next week with the hamstring. KD's not really hasn't played enough to prove he's MVP worthy.
Yeah.
I think the MVP voting is definitely open. Open for a new player to kind of come in there. And Giannis hasn't really played that great this year. It's definitely open.
I really like Lillard. He won't get it, but the fact that people are talking about him, man, he's going to do some more Hulu commercials. Hulu doesn't just have live sports. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Come on, man. That's up
good.
there with Baby Shark, man. For the people who got kids, y'all understand. And for the people that don't understand, we're going to drop this topic and we're moving on to topic 2. I bring your attention not just to the UFC, but to mixed martial arts. Before I introduce a topic question, a nice little caveat. ONE FC made their debut on TNT. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson fought. Those lighter weight classes in ONE FC are deep, dude. Deep. 135, 125. I'll get into a little bit about the weigh-in process, which is why it's more equal on the ground and what you have to be on fight day, the weight you have to be at the weigh-ins, and the weight you have to be on fight day. Demetrius Johnson lost to someone that was longer, leaner, and younger, and he got caught. And a fight that I thought he was winning, by the way. I thought Demetrius was winning that fight. Bellator was this weekend. Ryan Bader avenged his loss, beat Machida. Kat Zingano is back. God bless this chick. So now that I talked to you about Bellator, which is going to be on next Friday and over the weekend, FC is going to be on again. Eddie Alvarez fought last week too, by the way. Let's talk about the UFC. The UFC is going to have a total of 40 events by year's end. And some of my friends have complained that there's an oversaturation of events that kind of like thins out the quality of the brand. So Rob, my question to you is the UFC putting on too many events?
Absolutely not. I mean, I think they're taking advantage of the space that's there. Most of the college seasons are cut short. Most of the high school seasons are cut short. You have, a lot of sports that are playing or that are navigating in different areas like the NBA right now. They're navigating at different times than they normally would. I just think it's great for them to try to get as much material out as possible, especially if they're cutting fighters. They should be able to have a ton of people at their disposal to fill cards, make matchups, and be able to take on new talent to be able to fill those holes and make them, decent cards. I do know what people are talking about when they talk about oversaturation of the cards, but at the end of the day, when you're watching an event, it's really for the main card, which is one fight from each weight division, maybe. It's not like you have a 12 fight main card. There's 6 fights in the main card, and then it's off to the next weekend. So I don't think it's really that much. If anything, I feel like this is almost what they should have been doing all along. Is regardless of good fights or bad fights, just put as many fights out as possible. As a business, I think that's just a smart move.
So Rob, supposed to be a debate show, but once again, I find we should just call this Sports Agreement Show, okay? Sports Agreement Tuesday. I got to go with you on this one because once the UFC decided what they wanted their identity to be, right? I mean, when you consider mixed martial arts as a whole and UFC to get its deserved recognition from going from the red, being in the red to being in the black, and really, I gotta say, I can only judge UFC from the Ultimate Fighter, the tough one thing when they had Griffin and Bonner fight on live TV, and all of my friends were calling each other, yo, these two white dudes are beating the shit out of each other. From that point, I think it was 2005 all the way up to this point. It's been MMA's been a sport for 30 years, but really the UFC's been in the black for 15 years, and for 15 years they've tried to find an identity, Rob. And now, do we want to be like boxing? If we want to be like boxing, we can't have all these damn shows. Because boxing is star supported, and everybody else that's not a star like Mayweather or whatever, believe it or not, if you look at the actual numbers, are making less than the UFC up and comers. Because everyone's like, oh, Dana White's cheap or this and that. Oh, they don't make a lot of money, and they're not wrong. But anyone that compares it to boxing is wrong. I mean, there's Mayweather, there's Pacquiao, there's these guys, and everybody else is making like 5,000, to show and win. Dana's, I think, offering 20 to show, 20 to win. So plus incentives and performance bonuses, which is still not a lot. But Rob, MMA has attracted a lot of wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans away. MMA has attracted a lot of people who have respect and appreciation of the sweet science where people just use their hands. They found something in the middle. When you find something in the middle, you have to find an identity where it's a true combat sport, where people can still follow your stars, and at the same time have show after show after show like the WWE or WWF or whatever nonstop action, whatever the hell's on TNT right now. Having those shows generates fan support, and no one ever called like professional wrestling. They don't call it a sport, but they sure as hell don't call it an oversaturation. Monday Night Raw, I think, is the longest running show on TV right now. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, probably not that far behind. So, got to go with you, a big emphatic yes, because I think if people don't want to watch a certain match, don't watch it. But If you want, I mean, last week Vittori fought Holland, Kevin Holland. Kevin came in as a super sub and filled in for Darren Till. I watched
Mhm.
that match. I didn't watch the whole card. I skipped some matches. Of course, I watched
Exactly.
Mackenzie Dern against Nina Ansarov, who's now Nina Nunez. Congratulations, because we thought Nunez was going to win that, and Dern surprised everybody with a slick submission. Good sportsmanship at the end. I like that. I love Kevin Holland, man. I know he talks a lot of junk, but the one word out of all that shit talking, right? The one word I get out of all of those is yes. Pick up my phone, say yes. Got it.
He's got to go back to the drawing board
Yeah.
though.
Well, yeah, he's trying to build up his brand, and next thing you know, he got shoved in against a number 6 and a number 5. you
Yeah,
know,
but
Brunson's
the
not a
way
bum.
he's
He's a
lost.
bum when he fights Adesanya.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's the reason why Adesanya is probably like a better matchup for him is because Adesanya is not going to take him down.
Mhm.
He's got to, and just like Adesanya had to do, he has to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get people to stop taking him down so that he can fight people standing up. I don't care who you are, you're not good enough to fight off your back. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I
Even
mean,
even even the best jujitsu practitioners in the world, if you're fighting MMA and you're on your back, they still have a chance that they can get knocked out.
yeah.
They can just get ground and pounded over and over and over again, and then just get tired. So you got to figure out a way to stay on your feet.
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. When you're on your back and you get punched in the face, you're a white belt.
Exactly.
That's how the saying goes. Yeah, but I co-sign with you, but it's basically I'm citing as a pretext that mixed martial arts has found its identity, and when you have its identity, well, you want to do a lot of shows. Let's do a lot of shows, man, and the purists are gonna watch every show, and now the purists are probably going to get fired from their job because just last week alone, like ONE FC, I watched every match. I don't know how, right? Bellator, I watched every match. I watched Pitbull the last week too, who, by the way, I think is, if they did like a 155-pound rankings, he's like number 4, whether it's UFC or not. I think he's right behind Khabib and right next to Chandler and who's our guy, Justin Gaethje. The UFC has picked up champions from everybody. Chandler was the Bellator champion. Gaethje was the World Series of Fighting champ. If you remember, Eddie Alvarez was the also a Bellator champ. If you remember, Gilbert Melendez, that was a Strikeforce champ. So the UFC did a good job consolidating all the best lightweights. But this dude, he's got a brother too that's almost as good as him. But Patricio Pitbull, man, watch out for that dude.
Hmm.
Yep. Yeah, Mighty Mouse got hit. Something that surprised me because ONE FC, you can knee an opponent to the head if they're grounded. So he got hit and he dropped on his butt, and when he's on his butt, he got kneed again. And I'm like, oh, whoa, 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 and it was still going. So it's one of those things. I was like, wow, okay, cool, Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. All I got for MMA. We got an event coming up this weekend that it's Whitaker. I'm actually gonna
Gastelum, eh?
yeah, Kelvin Gastelum. I was just gonna put it up for a minute to see if we could do some picks on this. Maybe on Quick Question or whatever, and this and that. Jeremy Stevens. Jakar Close, man, hasn't fought in a couple of years. Watch out for that person.
Orlovsky
Yeah.
coming back from the dead.
Yes, Sherman's won 4 in a row, so that's a good match for Arlovsky. Luis Pena is
Pena, yeah.
yeah. I mean, he looks
From,
like He looks like you, dude. Looks like your freaking little brother if you ever seen him. Ricardo Ramos, watch out for that dude. Alexander Romanov, heavyweight, undefeated, 13-0, all 13 of his wins, 8 submissions, 5 knockouts. So he's a guy I'm gonna keep an eye on, and pretty good. Yeah.
And Gerard Merchart,
Yes.
the guy who got one times KO'd by
It's
by
true.
what is it? Chimaev
Chimaev.
Kazma
Yep.
Kazma Chimaev.
You
Yeah.
got it.
We'll see maybe if he can get a little comeback action, show what he's worth there.
If you look at his wins, though, how many wins by submission? I mean, we pretty much knew if his path was that, and it's very, very hard to submit a long and rangy guy who chooses not to take the fight to the ground. You know what I mean? He's got good wrestling defense, and if he's a Dagestan guy or one of those East Coast guys, one of them Samba dudes, if he don't want to go to the ground, he ain't gonna go to the ground. So, man, eat your heart out, American wrestlers, because these Russian dudes are coming, man. None of them growing mustache, too. All just looking like Keebler elves, Nabisco shredded wheat elves.
Well, and even talking about American wrestling, Jordan Burroughs lost an American trials to Kyle Drake like a week ago. So, changing of the guard right there.
Yeah, and I wish he won, because as far as moving the needle for wrestling and generating when I say moving the needle for the people listening at home, someone who's transcendent meaning that people that don't watch the sport know who you are, or people that follow the sport casually, that name's a given. For example, Conor McGregor, right?
Right.
You don't watch MMA. People don't watch MMA. They know who he is, Hulk Hogan, right? Or The Rock. So these are Kerry Walsh, beach volleyball, right? Transcendent people, or Misty May at the time, her and Kerry, transcendent elite athletes. Well, speaking of the beach, that's where we're going. Don't mean to make you uncomfortable, Rob. I know you're an active player, so I'm going to ask you a question that might have you border on casting aspersions on your own kin. So, but I gotta do this, because this is our wheelhouse. Rafi Paulis, we freaking love that dude. Who my candidate for most improved player of the year so far. In Satterfield, journeyman turned into hitman for hire, have gotten together and beat. We threw a lot of people. I mean, in a tournament that had Rosie and Samuel, Superman, Sean Rosenthal, and Jeff Samuels in the semifinals, that had David Lee and Ty Loomis in the finals. This is a fundraiser to benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs in Austin, Texas. I'm pretty sure Bobby Jones has his fingerprints all over from Project Serve. Of course, CBD, my man Cali Bear, Chris Ships, big plug, man. Got to come back on the show. We'll talk about him later. But I think as a player and me as a coach and a commentator, we have three different levels of wheelhouse. You as an elite athlete, me as a coach, both of us as commentators. This is a big win. It's a big win. This is probably the biggest win I think Rafi and Ian probably had in their professional career. I mean, and I guess the tough question is, do you see Rafi and Satterfield being a team the rest of the year, and would they continue to make a good team? Tough question.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes to any active players or teams, especially in these COVID times where a lot of things are changing, a lot of things are happening. I think any type of stability is really good. So if anybody who finds like a really good partnership right now in this year, even going back to Evan and Logan before on the last podcast, where if you have something going right now, you should probably keep it, because there's a lot of things happening, a lot of things changing. And if you can keep something stable and secure, that'll help out in the steps going forward. So, yeah, I mean, at least for the season, or at least for a couple tournaments, see how it rocks. But again, you don't really know where the next tournament is. You don't know where it's going to be. So to have something rock solid kind of makes it a lot easier.
Nah, no doubt. Rob, I gotta go no. I gotta go no. And I think I'm going no because I got to see Rice, Aaron Rice, who was Rafi's partner, like in the country quotas and the I think they had like a Hermosa Beach Invitational, like a mini tournament, one of those secret society get together type things, and watching him and Rice play, and watching him and Satterfield play, chemistry wise, not talent. Because I think Rice and Satterfield are right there with each other. I mean, as far as like who I like and who I know, man, I gotta go Satterfield. Satterfield's awesome. He's an awesome human being. He was on the podcast. We shot the Esh a little bit, and you always root for someone nice, which we can go right back to this dude. But if they're going to stay together, I will say this: stay together now. Don't switch back and forth. Marry each other. Travel together. Go to the hotels. Don't be like, no, I'm gonna play with this guy this week and that guy this week. It is April of 2020, and I think that's what you were kind of getting at. Like they're a good team, and if they're gonna be, if they're gonna be a team. I think that's maybe what you were trying to say. I don't know this or that, but I say if he goes with him, stay with him. Don't switch back and forth to Rice or whatever, you know, because these partnerships and making the main draw is not an easy thing to do, right? When you look at the qualifier, everybody's like, "Oh, those guys I criticize all people all the time for being in a qualifier for years and years and not even making a draw, but something I need to remind everybody that I'm only half kidding because the qualifiers represent the best regional winners, right? Detler, Pottstown Rumble. You know, this guy, Miles Evans, right? He didn't qualify. Seaside winner with Bill Kalinsky, multiple time Seaside winner. The Baumgrens, you know, Wapaka doubles, Wapaka threes, you know. So these are Angel Dacia. Don't even get me started, man. That dude's awesome. He's a savage. Bruno Emery. All of these guys are regional winners and respectable players, winners. Not just players, but winners in their regions. And it's not easy to come to this place you don't train and you don't practice and just land on the plane and think you're going to qualify. Roshitz, Canoli, that's someone else I want to plug in. So my heart says yes, because they're two nice guys that deserve each other. And Rafi Paulis has been playing his defense, his jumps, his serve to space, his transition game is just out of its. I've never seen him play this well in my life, or maybe even possibly his, you know. And he ain't called me back, so we you know, me and him got to settle up because he was I wanted him to talk about this tournament, but my head says Rice. My head says Rice. My heart says Satterfield. My head says Rice. If I'm wrong, and if Rafi wins either way, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I remember a couple of years ago, I said, "Nah, the Crab's gonna win the AVP, right?" And then, you know, this year, and when Taylor won, he's like, you know, dude, you need to work on your future scene skills, bro. So. I'm okay being wrong. That's what this show is about. This show is about predictive validity, having fun. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. And if you're right, you're right. And and I'm very, very careful because I speak for you. If we criticize someone, we attack volleyball players with volleyball. That's fair game. You know, if you got a problem with that, this ain't your show. You know, I didn't say anything about Rafi's mother. I didn't say he should die. I didn't say he should become vegan or something, you know, something silly like that. So for me, we're going to get on and off of this as fast as we can. And I say no, but I'll never know, you know, it's my opinion. My brain says no, but my heart. So if I follow my heart, they probably win anyway. I mean, think about it. Rafi's won with both partners. It's one of them good problems, dude. So this dude, Evan Corey, played a tournament, made the finals, and watch this win, dude. Look at that blowing. You see that blowing? Yo, the wind makes cowards of us all, my dude. Look at that thing blow, Rob.
Yeah, I'm watching the tent on the side too. It's like
that's what I'm saying.
Completely off. Yeah, I mean, I heard this game got canceled, so
it did. I was trying to get to the very end where they just said to hell with this. This is supposed to be the finals. I just want to see a serve. I think you got the wind coming towards us, right? So watch this serve fly. Oh, I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're done.
Yeah.
To hell with that. Bye. We're like, bye. So congratulations to Evan Corey making it to the finals again. And I mean, playing with JD Hamilton, I mean, JD's someone I'd love to have on the podcast. I understand he's beloved in the South and he's so respectable and so good. And you trained with him or played with him or against him a bunch of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gotta love JD.
Man, yeah. I mean, if you don't like JD, man, something wrong with you. Something's wrong with me because I'm taking my own show and I'm trying to jump out of this topic into the next topic, which, of course, is one of my personal favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I bring you to shame or not to shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Okay, let's do Robbie. Let's do this. Let's do my scoreboard. And that. Nope, let's reverse like that. Rob, what's up, man? To shame or not to shame? Kyrie Irving gets ejected from the Saturday game, but Schroeder also gets ejected. Rob, to shame or not to shame?
Yeah, definitely shame. I mean, I understand the double technical because the way they were talking at each other. But the way, first of all, Kyrie, the fact that he initiated the whole instigation, Schroeder didn't do anything really at Kyrie. He was just really talking to the ref. And then Kyrie kind of goes up in his face. I get they call double technicals now on that. But honestly, after those double technicals, I didn't even think either one of them deserved another technical after that. Especially, again, as a ref, realizing these are their top players on either team. And we're here for the fans and we're here for, to get the best basketball experience you can. I think a double technical in that instance is fine. You don't need to continue and give him another technical. But at the end of the day, it was Kyrie really that deserved double technical in the first place. He should have been out of the game. And they didn't even call double technical on Schroeder until after Kyrie. So I didn't really see anything before or after Kyrie got the technical for Dennis Schroeder to get the T. But again, it's just ridiculous. I don't think it should have gotten that far in the first place.
Rob McLean, I got to go with shame, shame, shame. First of all, there shouldn't have been a double technical in the beginning, all right? Kyrie Irving is bowing up on him. He's trying to back up. He's trying to put his hands up, trying to de-escalate the situation, and Kyrie remains in his face. That shouldn't have been a double technical. That should have been a single technical on Kyrie Irving and not a technical on Schroeder. Second of all, when Kyrie gets ejected, the referees claim that Schroeder did like this little mini wave, this little bye-bye thing, which so far, the tape, you really, really, really have to look for it. So to me, it should have been a double technical for one and possibly a single technical for the other. Kyrie Irving later tweeted that he got in his face because he used the N-word, which I think is absolute garbage because he got into his face and then he said the N-word. See, the N-word didn't happen before, it happened afterwards. That kind of supposedly escalated the situation. And in the situation where Kyrie not only has been called the affectionate the IGGA version of that, and not the classic one that should be banned everywhere. I gotta go shame. I gotta go shame on the rest, and I gotta go even bigger shame on Kyrie Irving. What the hell's wrong with him, man? He's such a bright, intelligent dude. And I say what the hell's wrong with him because, to my knowledge, neither one of them have been ejected from a game in their career. So the referees got a double dip. Both of them got ejected for the first time in their career. Kyrie has never been ejected from a game. So the whole thing to be so uncharacteristic and be in someone's face and still keep going that got the second technical just left me scratching my head, Rob. It was not him. So everyone was thinking, like, if that's not this guy's style, you've never been thrown out of a game. What did this dude say? Oh, he said the N-word. I'm like, man, come on, stop it. But Kyrie actually, since the Floyd incident last year, he's been hypersensitive about this. I don't like to use the word social justice, but I just called this issue that we are having in the United States of America that people are summarily ignoring. Now, as far as whether someone gets to use the N-word or whatever and this and that, I don't think it's up to a referee. I think if you got two black men, one has an issue, one doesn't have an issue with it, I think they should discuss that. I think on a social level, on a construct level, maybe old school black people who think the word should be buried, any variation of the word, the ER word or the IGGA word, should just be all buried together, needs to have a discussion from this generation and the generation before our generation and the generation after ours who found a way to take this word that's meant to be demeaning and oppressive and found a way for it to be endearing. So for me, I say let the black man talk to the black man, let the white person be an audience and don't say nothing because they're the ones that put black people into this mess in the first place by inventing this word to oppress and enslave and deny civil whatever, monetary, any kind of right that a black person deserves as much as every other or whatever. So white people stay out of it, but I really want to know more about it.
Well, I gotta say this, man, and this is a lot bigger than just these two guys figuring out how they want to talk to each other.
Please.
At the end of the day, if you don't feel comfortable saying it, or you have to ask somebody, should I say it, or is it socially acceptable? Don't say it. And the other time, if you say it because you feel like it's socially acceptable, then you need to be able to understand that there could be consequences behind it. Or I said it to the right person and they understand where I'm coming from. Both of those, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, that's a possibility. So again, if you don't want those possibilities, don't say the word. Next, if we're talking about socially changing this, I feel like those two instances will iron everything out. Those that are African American or black or Dominican, that, whatever color that is not white, that want to use that word, use that word. If it's socially acceptable, then you can use that in that socially acceptable circle. If it's not socially acceptable, you'll find out pretty quickly by either somebody being disgusted or somebody saying, I don't want to hear it, or somebody ghosting you because they don't want to be around that type of person. So at the end of the day, if you don't know how to use it, if you don't want to use it, or if you're using it wrong, don't use it. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty common sense. So I don't think there needs to be a big change. I just think people need to be respectful and just an umpteenth empathetic of other people. That's all.
100%. Rob, you said it best, man. In fact, I was going to say something to follow up on that, but I think we should leave it at that. Coming from both of us who are as objective as it can be, you have, we're both biracial, right? We both got mixed parents. Me, my mom's African American, of dark persuasion, actually. My father's Irish and Swedish American. For me, I always say something that makes a lot of black people uncomfortable. I always say you never know how racist a black man can be until they see someone who's mixed. Until they see someone who's both, you really want to test the limits of someone's tolerance or racism. Have an all-white group or an all-black group look at someone who's mixed. So the one race, if we're a race, that no one seems to give a shit about it, is us. And you made a very, very general way of just everybody just being cooperative about it, and make sure words matter, right? And consequences matter. Very well said, Rob. And I meant to shut up. I meant to leave what you said. Damn it, Rob. I meant to just leave what you said as is and let that swirl in people's head, because that's important, man. We're all about sports and this and that, but once again, if this issue seeps into sports, we got to talk about it. But God, bravo, Rob. Keep it McLean. Well said, my man. Well said. All right. I ain't sucking up to you no more, man. Let's get on to the next topic. The next topic is quick question. La la. Rob, quick question. Should Aaron Rodgers stay with Green Bay?
No.
All right. Yes. I say yes. Quick question. Big Ben is supposed to sign with the Steelers and is expected to stay there for 2 years. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Got to go thumbs up. I mean, your other choices are Haskins or Rudolph.
Rudolph. Oof.
Quick question. No, I'm going to say this for last because that's not really quick. Skip that one. Quick question. KD said development drives him, not titles. Are you buying that or do you call BS?
Yeah, because the only way that man could win a title is with Golden State. So I'm gonna say yes.
I call BS. He is there. He is at the Nets for the title and for the title only. I do not buy it, Mister
Mm.
Mister
I think he's
Sensitive.
just talking about himself, though. I think what
Mm.
drives him is the development of being the best, because that was always his thing. Is he wants to be the best. He wants to be better than LeBron, better than Michael, not necessarily about the title. So I think that is really really true about him.
All right, quick question. Miles's dunk on Clint Capella, is that best dunk of the year? Or do you go with Edwards?
So far, I mean, I think Miles Bridges has had a couple
Look
dunk
at
of the year
that. That's
candidates.
just
Honestly,
that's what you call freeze posterization, dude.
oof.
God.
And I had to say Anthony Edwards' dunk is pretty dope because I didn't see him actually like land on the guy. But yeah, I mean,
Dude.
when you go body to body with somebody, that's Vince Carter,
Yes.
right there. And that's what
So
it
which
is.
one?
That's Vince Carter to me.
No, but
It's just
which one you like out of the two?
I mean, I got to go with Bridges. I
Yeah.
got to go with Bridges.
Yeah. Me too. I'm a prisoner of the moment, but it is what it is. Quick question. Whitaker against Gastelum. Who wins?
Um, oof. I I want to say like heart of hearts. I think Gastelum, but Whitaker is just he's a winner. He knows how to win. He doesn't know how to beat people, but he knows how to win.
I go
So
Bobby Knuckles. I go Whitaker.
yeah,
Jeremy Stevens against Jakar Close. I go Stevens. Jakar Close he's been out of the cage too long.
yeah, but Stevens, man,
Mhm.
I'll go a toss up on that. It's gonna be a tie.
All right, and last one. We'll do the third one. Arlovsky against Chase Sermon.
I mean, I'll go Chase Sermon on that one.
I'll go Chase Sherman too. Cool. That's all they get. But watch out for Ramos. Watch out for Pena and Alexander Romanov. I think is going to be 14-0 as well. Jessica Pena's on the card. Not bad. There's Mershart, like you were talking about. Cool, man.
hmm
Quick question: does Vittori deserve a title shot against Israel Adesanya?
Hell no. But then again, like who else is there? So no.
I say yes. His last loss was 2018 against Adesanya, and he's done nothing but win out since. And if these guys, these top five, don't want to move and feign injuries to take more time off to keep their ranking, I let this kid
That's what I mean.
jump the line. Let this
That's
kid
what I mean.
jump
If
the
there's
line.
no one else there,
Yep.
yeah. But at the end of the day, I think you still got to move up to like 2 or 3 to get that shot.
All right, quick question. Conor McGregor verbally calls off the fight against Dustin Poirier in July amid claims that Dustin said he'd never donated to his charity like he said he would. His people reached out to Conor's people. Conor's people have not reached out back. The question is, should Dustin care?
Should Dustin care? No. I think he's beaten Connor. I don't see Connor winning another fight against anybody in the top 5 of any division, honestly. I think he's kind of off the game. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's just smoke and mirrors now.
I got the tweet up, and while people are reading the tweet, I got to go with you on this one. I think Connor's mad that he got called out on the social network on this because his his generosity really is more. If you look at his pattern for generosity, it's how he benefits from it. So I've never seen that guy do something for nothing. There's always something where it comes back at him, in some kind of monetary way. So to me, it's like the dragon healing himself, and the crowd is wild about what he did for himself. We could say that about a lot of people in volleyball too, right? So, and this was Poirier's tweet back. Pretty cool. All right, that's the end. That's it. That's all I got for a quick question. Yep, that's it. Before we go, hey, big up to Hideki Matsuyama, won the Masters. I'm not a big golf guy, but when a Japanese-born guy gets a green jacket, you got to give it its due attention. So congratulations to him. Next week, we're definitely going to talk about a lot of volleyball. We got Cancun coming up. We got all the conference championships for beach volleyball, the WCCs, the Pac-10. We got Big West, I think, coming the week after. A lot of beach volleyball in our lives. So, Rob, get on. I know you got to dust this. You got to come out of practice, dust the sand off, and indulge with me and chat a little bit about this stuff. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Rob. That's all I got, bruh. That is all I have. Rob, is there anything you'd like to say to the people, to the American people, to the Australian people, to my Argentines, to the Russian people who are listening? What do you got to say?
Just stay safe, stay happy.
Rob says, stay safe, stay happy. And that is said out of love. Rob's got love for you, but me, nah. No love for you guys today. In fact, I'm out of here. All right. I'm hungry. I'm tired. And I'm already fat. And I intend on getting fatter. Quarantine 15. Here we come. The job is almost complete. For Rob, keep it McLean. This is episode 62. This is Sports Debate Tuesday. We did it, man. We're out. Yeah. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.